Hey guys, Class A Val here with ClassADrivers.com, a community of over 300,000 truck drivers. Here at ClassADrivers.com, we are dedicated to helping people find out if truck driving is the right career for them. And if you want to consider driving a truck for a living, that means getting your commercial driver's license or CDL, and that usually means going to a truck driving school. In a few seconds, we'll give you the raw truth about truck driving schools, how much they cost, how long they take, and your best options to get the job that you want. If you've checked out our videos on how to become a truck driver or how much truck drivers make, you already have a good idea of whether or not this job is for you. We'll include links down below. So if you like this video, please give us a thumbs up and leave your comments down below. Okay, on to truck driving schools. The first question that we get is, can I get my CDL without trucking school? And the answer to that is yes. You can get a CDL on your own, but good luck getting a job. Most trucking companies want to know that you've been properly trained before putting you behind the wheel of an 80,000-pound tractor trailer. That means they want to see that nice certificate from a truck driving school or training program. And why are trucking companies so adamant about making sure that you've been properly trained? Because they have to put you on their insurance. So can you study the CDL manual on your own, take the test, and get a license? Sure you can. But should you? No. You should go to truck driving school. That's our recommendation, because that's what will get you hired, which is the whole point of going to school in the first place. The good news is that trucking school only takes 3 to 6 weeks depending on the program. This is a small amount of training compared to other jobs that pay similar to a long-haul trucker. Many truck driving schools will work with your schedule. They'll try to be flexible with your training. This means you can work at your own pace and take the CDL test when you're ready. Cost for driving school usually ranges from $3,000 to $7,000, again, depending on the program that you choose. Later on in this video, we'll go over your options to pay for truck driver training. But first, it's important to cover the different types of schools. We'll divide your options for trucking schools into 3 groups: private or independent schools, company-sponsored schools, and other options. First is private trucking schools. Their number one goal is to get you trained so you can get your license and get hired within outside companies. They may hold job fairs or have relationships with companies, but whether or not you find employment after school is up to you. Also, because these schools are privately owned and operated, you're responsible for finding a way to pay for your training. It's on you. The second option is a company-sponsored school or training program. Finding a program sponsored by a trucking company is a great opportunity for people who want to drive but can't afford a private independent school. Company-sponsored training usually follows the same deal. The trucking company will pay for you to complete your CDL training. That means you don't pay anything upfront for your education. The catch is that you sign a contract and agree to work for that trucking company for 6 months to a year after you graduate. You'll work at a lower rate than usual in order to pay off the loan that the company gave you to finish your schooling. A lot of trucking companies offer this type of arrangement. The positive is that you are guaranteed a job out of school. The negative is that you are committed to a single company for an extended period of time. For aspiring truckers that don't have $3,000 to $7,000 sitting in their bank accounts, this is a good option. Those aren't the only 2 types of schools where you can get your CDL though. 2 more schooling options include trade or vocational schools and community colleges. Trade schools are more like traditional universities, so their courses may take longer or cost more. Community colleges may be more affordable, but they may also be harder to find, especially if you're looking locally. The good thing about community colleges, though, is that you may be eligible for more financial aid. And sometimes community colleges offer night classes, which works for a lot of people. The last option we'll discuss for getting your CDL is for veterans. If you drove a truck in the military, you may be eligible for a military skills waiver. Depending on the skills you acquired in the military, you may be able to simply get a waiver and get your license. With this waiver, you can get hired immediately. Veterans make great truck drivers because they have initiative and understand what it takes to get a job done. They are used to physical work and travel, and they have a great awareness of their surroundings, which is pretty useful when driving an 80,000-pound rig through traffic. If you didn't drive a truck in the military, but you're a veteran interested in trucking school, we still have good news for you. Thanks to the post 9/11 GI Bill, veterans can get financial assistance for truck driving school. We'll leave a link in the description box below. That leads us to our next topic, financial assistance. If you don't want to attend company-sponsored training, but you don't want to pay completely out of pocket for your training, you still have options. You may be eligible for student loans, especially if you're attending community college. You may also be able to take out a loan from the bank, and then you can pay it back when you begin driving. And if you're lucky, you may even be eligible for a grant. Finally, let's talk about scholarships. This is money given specifically to students for their education, and as a trucking student, you may qualify. There are a number of scholarship opportunities that often depend on your income or demographics. The last thing you need to do is pick a school. So before we leave you, let's go over a few things you should consider before picking the right school for you. Location. How close is the school to you? Do you need to consider housing if you're going to pick a school that's far away? Cost. How much does the school cost? Are you going to get financial assistance? Can you find a company-sponsored program? What are your long-term career goals? What kind of equipment does the school have, and what will you be driving? What kind of job placement opportunities are there? These are just a few questions to ask yourself. For a complete list of everything you should consider before picking the school, check out the article linked in the description box below. There's probably a lot more to consider about truck driving schools than you thought, and it's a lot to take in. You should visit class8drivers.com and check out our Become a Truck Driver section for all the information on truck driving schools. We even have a complete listing of schools that you can find just by searching your location. This is a limited series of videos, so please leave us a thumbs up and comment down below. If you have topics you want us to cover, let us know. And if we get good feedback, we'll keep making these videos. But for now, Class Eval is out of here. Class dismissed.